I have a version of myself living in my head. He's got it all figured out. He wakes up early. He's calm. He's focused. His apartment is clean. His finances make sense. And I've spent years, genuinely, embarrassingly, trying to become him. The problem? He doesn't exist. And chasing him has cost me almost everything that actually matters. I used to think that I just needed to optimize a little harder, get the right morning routine, track the right metrics, read the right books, and eventually I'd arrive at this cleaner, better, more sorted version of my life. I'd feel present, I'd feel enough, and look, I did all of it. I had the habit tracker, I had the journaling streak, I had the reading list, I was doing the thing, and I still felt this low-level anxious hum underneath everything. Like I was always one productive quarter away from finally being okay. Like the real version of my life was always loading in the next tab. There's a word for this, or actually it's an idea, and it comes from a philosopher named Derek Parfit. Though a lot of thinkers have circled it, it's the idea of future self. And here's the thing, psychology, your future self is not you. Brain imaging studies show that when people think about their future selves, the neural patterns look more like thinking about a stranger than thinking about yourself right now. So when you say future me will handle that, you're basically outsourcing your life to someone you've never met. You're making sacrifices for a stranger. You're building a life for a person who might show up completely different than you expected, or who, in some ways, never shows up at all. We've turned self-improvement into a kind of debt we're running up against a future that has no idea we're doing this. We push pleasure, rest, connection, presence, all of it forward. We'll enjoy our life once we're more disciplined, more financially stable, more successful, more ready. But ready for what, exactly? That's the question nobody seems to want to answer. Here's what nobody tells you about self-improvement culture. It's not neutral. It carries an assumption inside it that who you are right now is not okay. That the current version of you is basically a rough draft. And the more you internalize that, the worse it gets, because you start filtering every experience through this question. Is this making me better? You go on a walk, and you're half thinking about whether it counts as an exercise. You read a book and you're already summarizing it in your head to tell someone about later. You have a conversation with a friend and somewhere in the back of your mind, you're extracting the lesson, the insight, the thing you'll remember. Nothing is just allowed to be what it is. Everything is a transaction. Every moment is either an investment or a waste. I did this for years. I genuinely don't know how many conversations I was only half in because I was somewhere else in my head, planning, optimizing, or rehearsing the future. I thought I was strategic. I was just absent. And the irony is that the life I was building towards, the calm, present, connected life, requires exactly the thing I kept skipping over, the present. There's a concept in philosophy called teleological thinking. It means viewing everything as being for something. Everything has a purpose, an endpoint, or a destination. And it's genuinely useful in some contexts. But when you apply it to your entire life, something breaks. Because a life is not a project, and it doesn't have to be deliverable. There's no version where you ship the finished product and then get to exhale and just be. The exhale is supposed to be happening right now, woven through the whole thing, not held hostage until the conditions are met. The philosopher Alan Watts said something that actually stopped me the first time I heard it. He said that we confuse the symbol for the thing itself. Money, status, achievement. These are all symbols pointing towards something real. Security, meaning, connection, aliveness. But somewhere along the way we start chasing the symbols and forget what they're pointing at. We optimize the number on our scale and forget what health actually feels like in a body that's been taken care of. We chase the relationship milestone and forget what it actually means to be close to someone. The future self isn't a destination, it's a story we tell. And sometimes the most useful thing you can do is put the story down for a minute and just look at what's actually there. I want to be careful here because I'm not saying goals are bad or that growth is a scam or that you should just lie on the couch and call it philosophy. That's not at all what I'm saying. I still have things I want. I still work toward things. That part didn't go away. What changed is the texture of it. I'm not doing it from a place of I am not yet okay. I'm doing it from a place of this actually matters to me right now, today, as the person I already am. That's a completely different energy and it produces completely different results because you're not running away from yourself anymore. You're just moving. There's a version of ambition that's rooted in scarcity, in the fear that if you stop pushing, everything falls apart. And there's a version that comes from genuine curiosity and care for your own life. They can look identical from the outside, but internally they feel nothing alike. One of them is exhausting. The other one is almost fun. So here's what I'd actually leave you with. Not stop having goals, but maybe, just for today, let one thing be enough on its own. Your dinner doesn't have to be meal prep. Your walk doesn't have to have a step count. Your conversation doesn't have to be a networking opportunity. Let one thing today just be the thing it is. The version of you that you're running toward, he's not waiting at the finish line. He's the one who decided to show up here, now, and actually live the life that's already happening. That's it. That's the whole thing. If this hit home for you, I'd love to know. Drop it in the comments and I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.